Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video we're going to be talking about a brand new game which I've stumbled across, and this thing looks really fucking good. Now the game that I'm talking about is called Valhall, and this is a medieval battle royale, okay? So it's like For Honor, Chivalry and Fortnite all smashed together, except you don't build stuff. And it also has a few extra twists which I will be getting into, but holy crap, this thing looks good. Now keep in mind though, this right now is an early development, early access type game, and they're funding it on Indiegogo. Now, I've had a lot of issues with early access games in the past. I know everyone's very wary of them, but I just want to make this video letting you all know about this thing because it looks pretty damn good, and when it does launch, it looks like it's going to be a shit ton of fun if it ever launches, obviously. I'm looking at you, Star Citizen, you lying bastards. But I have here from the Indiegogo site the description of the game and what the story is, so let's get into that. It says you were one of the survivors from the last battle of Odin's army. Almost all your brothers lost their lives fighting against a tremendous enemy, we don't know what. Now an unheard apocalypse is going to crush everything in its way. The best of Odin's warriors came back to retrieve the sword of Odin. It possesses power over all natural forces that will be enough to stop Ragnarok. You were going to fight with others for the right to possess the sword and save Midgard from complete destruction. So the whole thing is Viking themed. I love Vikings. Vikings are cool. Viking lore is cool. It's all really cool. Now let's get into what this game actually is. So it's a medieval battle royale, so it works the exact same as say Fortnite minus the building, okay? It's like PUBG style where everyone drops into the match and then you basically have to rush to the middle in order to get Odin's sword. Now Odin's sword is currently placed, from what I've read, underground in these caves that is controlled by Loki, the trickster god. So there's a whole bunch of traps there. It's apparently very dangerous, and you basically have to beat everyone else to Odin's sword, claim it, you win the game. And of course that means you have to kill everyone along the way. And of course, because it's a battle royale, you don't start off with any weapons. Once you enter the game, you have to run around and find chests that are littered throughout the game. You pick them up, and then of course you loot some gear and some weapons, and you go forward and kill people. Now so far there's going to be two-handed weapons, one-handed weapons, there's shields, there's crossbow I saw, there's bows as well. So there is range combat, and there are forts and castles littered throughout the map. There's houses, stuff like that. So if you want, you can go into a castle, wait for people to come by, sit on one of the ramparts and shoot them with a bow as they run in. There is a ton of verticality to the maps and to how you can play the game. Now you can also play the game in third person or first person. Preferably, I always like first person because it's way more immersive, way more fun, and you just get to feel the weight of you just cracking some guy's skull open. But at the same time, it depends how it's going to work, if it has much bearing on combat, because third person is always the best way to go because you get the advantage of seeing everyone around you. So that's going to be a toss up on which one people are going to use. If it's like, most games, I'll probably choose third person, even though first person is much more fun. So when it comes to the combat of the game, it is pretty in-depth, okay? I don't think it's as in-depth as For Honor that I've seen so far, but at the same time, it's pretty damn good. You can dodge attacks like normal, you can block, you can parry. I think there was a parry in there. I think I saw someone do that. If not, still blocking is just as good with the shield and stuff, but it looks like it's really fun. And they also have this unique thing in the game, which is really cool, and it's called real-time attacking collision. So essentially what this is, it's got lines all over your sword when they're using the preview of it, but you can swing the sword around and it determines where you're going to hit and what you're going to hit and how much you're going to hit for. So in other words, the longer you draw the sword back and you come down with a nice big heavy strike, you're going to obviously do more damage, and depending on where you hit, you might lob someone's leg off, you might, hit them in the shield and not do much. It all depends on what happens and where you hit with this collision system. And that also works for if you say hit them in the arm, but you also hit the shield, it will do reduced damage because you've sort of clipped both things at once. At least that's what I gathered from the information and stuff I've seen so far. And on top of that, they have one of the best mechanics I've ever seen in the game. It was in World of Warcraft on the Hunters. I fucking loved it. Used to use it all the time, and I wish more games would put this in. You can feign death. You can fake your own death. So if you're fighting a guy and you think you're gonna die, you can be like, oh no, wait for him to swing, block it with half with your shield, and then just feign death. So pretend that you died, you fall over, ragdoll, and then hope the guy doesn't walk up and double tap you. Just hope he walks away because he thinks he's finished you off. That's really fucking cool. I want to see if you can just feign death and then just wait there. Just wait for people to rock by, and then as soon as they pass you, get up and start stabbing them in the back, and that would be awesome. Or just wait for them to like pass you, and then just get up and shoot them in the back with a bow. Honestly, that is one of the best mechanics I've ever seen, and I'm so happy they put it in a battle royale setting. And from the footage that's going to be playing in the background, and from what they showed, there seems to be a lot of people in here, and it looks like an actual medieval battle. There was one thing they showed where it was like 20 versus 20 people just rocking up, and people just running into the fight and crushing each other, jumping off rocks. It looks like it's going to be awesome when you manage to actually get a whole bunch of people in the same area, and then everyone just devolves into just murder. It's going to be so good. It looks like so much goddamn fun, because you don't know what's happening. You're stabbing the guy in front of you, then some guy stabbing you in the back, and you're trying to fight people off, and everyone's just, it just would be a massive clusterfuck, and that's always the best when it comes to medieval fighting games. Now, you start off the game with armor and stuff, and you can visually customize how your armor and everything looks before you go into the game. That is really, really cool. That gives everyone a unique feel on how they can look, and, you know, that saves you also having to run in and, you know, loot armor and all that sort of stuff. You can sort of just go in with your character, you look good, you're ready to murder, and then you just run around, find some weapons, and get your game on. And another really, really cool thing is, I don't know how you acquire these, but there's these things called rune stones. Now, what you can do with the rune stones is you can combine the rune stones with your weapons to give them visual effects. This is really, really fucking awesome. So basically, the way this works is you have a rune stone, you combine it with your sword, and you can have a flaming sword. Now, I don't know if that does anything extra. They did say it was visual, so I'm assuming it's just going to be a cosmetic thing to just, you know, look really cool. Maybe they can sell it in the cash shop, that sort of stuff, because let's be honest, they'll have some form of cash shop, especially if the game is free to play. But the fact you can run around with like a flaming axe or a sword that's like covered in ice, or they even have a shockwave effect, so like when you hit someone, it doesn't do anything from what I can tell. Like I said, just visual, but like a shockwave will go off them when you slam into people with like your hammer or something. So once again, the more customization, the more visual stuff, it looks really cool. It's a nice addition, and I hope that it's not going to be a pay to win thing like, hey, if you buy this flaming rune stone in the store, it's going to give you extra fire damage. I hope it's nothing like that. Keep it visual, and that's going to be a perfect system. Now, another unique thing about the game is the fact that there is 4 different biomes, okay? So the map is split up into 4 different sections, and each section of the map has its own season. So one, for example, will be thick snow. It's going to be winter. It's going to be just, you know, snow on everything. All the houses are going to be covered in snow, and it's going to be like trudging through, you know, Russia or like a Viking lands back in the day. That's awesome. And then if you go to the other biome, all of a sudden it's autumn there. So, you know, it's all sunny. It's nice. It looks like it's an elf homeland. But yeah, each biome is basically going to have its own season, so that way it's going to vary up depending on where you are, which is awesome. And now we're going to talk about the thing that is keeping you all in this battle royale, and that shrinks, and it is very different, and I fucking love what they did here. This is awesome. So in PUBG and in Fortnite, you got this basically dome that shrinks and just keeps you all in there, and once you're outside the dome, you cop damage, so on and so forth. That's fun. But what they did in Valhall is a lot better. It's a gravity field. So the gravity field, as it starts coming in, literally rips everything apart. So we're talking ripping trees out of the ground and throwing them in the air. If you're in a house and you're fighting someone and you can't see where the gravity field's coming in, all of a sudden the back of the house just starts getting ripped up, okay? Just starts getting blown away like a fucking tornado is blowing through, and you have to get the hell out ASAP, because if you get caught in this gravity field, you get sucked up into the air and you start ragdolling and you pretty much die. Okay, so yeah, it's so good seeing the footage where they're all fighting, they're all kicking ass. Some guy looks up, he goes, oh mother of God, he piss bolts. Guy turns around and you just see people getting sucked up into this gravity field, and everyone just stops fighting and they all just get the fuck out of there. That is so goddamn good. And I love anything where it makes people who are trying to kill each other stop, turn around and go, oh shit, and then they all just, no one cares about killing each other anymore. They're like, save it for later, let's just get the fuck out of here. That is awesome. But yeah, this thing literally destroys everything. And it's also really fun seeing people ragdoll through the air because they got caught in the gravity field. Well, that's what we know so far. Honestly, this game, it's an early access game, so once again, I'm wary. I'm not going to be like super excited for it. I might try and get beta access for the thing, and if I do, I'll play it. I do think here, if I go to the Indiegogo page, you can, for 25 USD, so $35 Australian, you can become a beta tester. I got to do more research about all this sort of stuff before I even bother with doing it. But so far, the game looks really, really cool. It is a unique take take on the Battle Royale formula. I've wanted a medieval Battle Royale for the longest time because I don't enjoy Fortnite. I don't like building and all that sort of crap. It's like a building simulator with minimal shooting. I don't enjoy PUBG because of the RNG and how slow it is. So I prefer, in a Battle Royale sense, a medieval game. And finally, someone's fucking doing it. I've in my own head, I've been asking for this for so goddamn long. It's why I made that video about Fortnite Battle Royale, because I want one. It would be so cool. And now a company's actually doing it. So the company doing it, by the way, is called Black Rose Arts. It's a studio from Ukraine. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's currently in early access. They're trying to get funding for it. They're doing a pretty good job. And it's said on Steam, it's going to be releasing on Steam. So it's already up there. So when it releases eventually, if I don't get beta access to the thing, I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be trying it out because I think this thing's going to be pretty goddamn big. And plus, it's an awesome looking game so far, and like I said, this is just early access. I can't wait to see what it's like when they actually finish the game and release it. But I do hope this thing ends up launching, and I hope it launches soon because this thing does look pretty goddamn fun, and I want to get my hands on it somehow. And I think this would be a really fun game to stream. But that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. I love reading and replying to all your comments down below. And feel free to check out my Discord and Twitter. There is a link down below in the description box for both of those as well. The Discord is a great way for me to talk to you guys outside the YouTube comments section. And of course, the Twitter is a great way for you guys to get a notification whenever a video is being uploaded, because YouTube is a bit weird sometimes. And if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support the channel further, feel free to check out my Patreon. There'll be a link down below in the description box, and a link will pop up at the end of the video. And if you choose to donate, it is greatly appreciated. And a big shout out to my current patrons whose names you've been seeing in the background. Just wanted to say thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot. And please share this video around. It does help me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.